Hello and welcome. I am A from LuLaRoe Life with A. If you are joining us again, welcome back. Or if you're brand new, hello. I'm super excited to show you how to use Shop The Roe. As excited as one can be, I guess. I hope this is going to be helpful for you. And if you're using a different program like Row Runner or Boutique Box, anything like that, this isn't the place for you. Go ahead and search again on YouTube for the program plus loading instructions. If you're using Shop The Roe, let's go ahead and get started. So here we go. Here's my Shop The Roe background. It's pretty clear just by reading the description over here on the left what manual is, smart post, and refresh sold comments. I want to talk about each of these though. Manual, the only reason why you would use manual posting would be if you were going to say, I'm going to load up all of my inventory except for my Carlies today. I'm going to load my Carlies tomorrow. So instead of going through all the hassle of what we're going to go through with Smart Post, even though it's not really a hassle, manual would give you a better option to do that. So if we go through manual, we click on that, wait for Shop The Roe to load. So here's like my Carlies, for instance. I would click on all. Or you could take this even further. Maybe you wanted to just load your extra larges. You needed to photograph them and they weren't posted. You could always select your style and size. Here's all of my Carlies. I'm going to hit select all. I would scroll down to the end of here, and then you're going to have a couple different options. Post selected to Facebook would be if we were going to be loading these photos up to Facebook. Click on that. And then here, if you are not logged into Facebook, your albums will not post. Even if you were logged in at one point and then something happened, you got logged out, maybe you changed your password or something like that, you're going to have to make sure that you are logged in all the way. Once you log in, Facebook is going to auto-populate all the groups. Look at all these groups I'm in, or at least that I'm an admin of, right? These are all the groups I'm an admin of. I would select the proper group, and then I would pick what album I wanted it to go to. Now, in this group, or actually, let's change this to my my practice group right here. Okay, let's pull this up. So let's see. I don't have any albums loaded in this group, so I would click on here, create new. I'd type in whatever this is. I'm loading the Carly dress. Now, upload new images would be your cover photo. I would click select files. I'd pull up my Google Drive here. Don't look at the bootleg copy of Guardians of the Galaxy. Inventory, cover photos, and then here is my my Carly picture. You only get to pick one photo to be your quote-unquote cover photo for that album. So I would just select the Carly picture I want. It would process the picture, and then I put the message in down here. I'm going to go into more depth about that on the next part. And then you'd hit list and post to Facebook now. But you're really rarely ever going to use this. Like I said, the only reason why you would use this manual posting, I'm doing air quotations as I'm talking, like you guys can see my hands. The only reason why you would do that is if maybe you forgot to load a style or a style wasn't ready, or you were just doing maybe a feature day and you only wanted to load one specific style. Then you would use manual. I also use manual if I'm looking for certain styles. Let's say I had a customer come into my boutique and she bought 2 Carlies and I wanted to pull those Carlies out of my inventory. I will have another tutorial on how to do that down the road, which will cover how to do that. So, all right, so let's go back to listings. Let's say you're fresh, new consultant, or you're brand new to using Shop The Roe. Either way, for the most part, 90% of the time, it's a number I made up off the top of my head. I feel like for the most part, you're going to be using Smart Post. And what Smart Post does is, again, it's going to pull up all of those groups that I am an admin in. Make sure you're logged in. That's step number 1, right? We want to make sure that we pick the correct group. What group do you actually want these albums to be going to? For me, we're going to go ahead and load them into my fake VIP group, my dummy VIP group, which I use for testing and ideas and things. And then we have all of these things here. For you and your VIP group, you are going to be using the load by style. Unless you have thousands and thousands of items, and you're just now using Shop The Roe, which is highly unlikely, your albums would be so full. We're talking 250 pieces or more, 350 pieces or more in one album. We're just going to be using the load by style. So you don't even need to worry about, that's my ex, you don't even need to worry about these other ones, okay? Just load by style. And so we've selected the group that we're going to be posting in, load by style. Now, over here on the right hand side, for me, I always click on convert all, do not post to create new. When you click this, it tells Shop The Roe that it's going to create a brand new album. Okay? A brand new album. And it's going to create it for you. The only thing you're going to need to do is, once you have clicked, I'm going to do it again. Let's see, it's going to convert it back. Convert all, do not post. Okay, right? This is how it looks. It's like this pinkish red. Convert all, do not post to create new. You don't have to change anything at all on this destination album. It's going to auto-populate the name of the album. All you're going to have to do is select the file that you want, and you're going to have to upload that cover photo that you want to use for that specific style. I have everything in my Google Drive because for me, sometimes I do this from my phone. So if everything is in my Google Drive, I can always access Google Drive from my phone. And I have all of these photos, as you can see, with cover photos and examples. So you would go through, and let's pretend that we did this for every single album. I uploaded my Amelia's, my Bianca's, all of those things, right? And all of this was full. All the way down, this was full. Here's something else to pay attention to. Once you have reached 750 pieces, 750 photos that are getting automatically uploaded to Facebook, Shop The Roe is gonna cut you off, basically. They're gonna take a little break, and it's gonna resume posting a little bit later. They do this so that you don't get thrown in Facebook jail for uploading too many albums at once. Now, we are going to pretend, right, that all of these were completely filled. And actually, let's go ahead and just do that. Let's convert all to do not post. And let's go ahead and just list my Amelia's. I'm going to manually do it. If you click in the destination album, I'm going to click create new myself. And I'm going to manually create this album. And we're going to go back and we're going to select the Amelia. And we're going to click on the cover photo. And then, blah, 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 let's pretend we did all of those. Now, here's something important. Over here on this right-hand side, it says copy a recent message. You can also upload things like in the manage section. You can see all the different messages that I have ever used here on Shop The Roe. Down here at the bottom, you can tell I've used a lot. Down here, where is it? Now I gotta find it. I might have deleted it. Here we go. Click to buy this item for blank price and description. This is going to be the default description that Shop The Roe has populated for you. Okay, click to buy this item for blank price description. But you can see over on this right-hand side, I have added to this. So let's say I copied and pasted this basic description that is going to automatically appear for you on the right-hand side. Until you change this and upload, it doesn't matter. Shop The Roe is not going to register all of these other ones, okay? It's just going to be this click to buy this item for price, description, and the URL. Hopefully you're following me so far. You're always welcome to comment and clarify. So what Shop The Roe does is for item, it's going to replace the word item with between leggings or a shortly or a randy. It's going to replace the word price with the actual price. If you have a description of your item, it will automatically change the word description to the text description you have. And then the URL is going to be that Shop The Roe specific link that your customers can click on to claim the item. Not everybody uses this. For me and my customers, remember, I'm different. This is the message I use. And if you want to change your own message, you can see my cursor over here. You would just type in whatever you want to say. For me personally, I say comment sold to claim. Then if it's your first time shopping, I give them my Bless account to sign up under. I give them my payment policy, and then I still leave the URL down below. This little, I don't know what the name of that symbol is, but that little bracket symbol, I leave it down there, even though my customers don't actually claim through Shop The Roe. I still want that URL there because when I pull up my albums on Facebook, I go through and manually claim for everyone just to make sure that everything's done correctly, everything's fair. It's just the way my rules are. It makes it easier for me. Remember, you can make this message whatever you want it to. I highly recommend putting in your Bless customer sign up form for them to fill out. It makes it easier. So then all I would click next is post later or post now. Here's the thing with Shop The Roe. I have never had actual luck with scheduling my posts with them. It seems to be that my last post actually is posting at the time I scheduled it to start. So for me, I don't actually hit this button until I am ready for my albums to go up. Even though you can schedule it, I've never had luck with it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong per se, but I just do the posts now. I don't post my albums until they're actually ready to go and I'm ready for my customers to shop. So I'm going to click on post now, and that's it. From here, Shop The Roe does everything else for you. If you were to load up all of your albums, it will tell you that it's successfully queued however many pieces. For me, if I had loaded up all my albums, it would be, 1190. And then we're going to come over here to my I apologize for anything you may see on my Facebook feed. Okay, here we go. So here's my dummy account. It's you can see I've got some things in here. So for you and for your Facebook group, in order to check to make sure that your albums are loading correctly, you would click on photos, you click on albums, and then from here, I would just kind of refresh and see, okay, how much time am I going to have to wait? We're going to use this album as an example only, okay, while we wait for that Shop The Roe to load. When you are loading your albums to your Facebook group via Shop The Roe, it doesn't appear in the feed here. It does not appear in the actual feed, and most of the time it doesn't actually appear in your customer's news feed either. So it doesn't appear in the group and it doesn't appear in your customer's news feed. And I'll show you the way around it. So there's like a two-step process. The beginner way is to load and create your albums actually through Shop The Roe. See, you can see my Amelia album popped up. That's it. There's the start of my Amelia albums, and it's going to start to load this way, right? So here's the thing that you're going to need to do if you choose to create your albums through Shop The Roe. How we did that, we clicked here, do not post, create new, exactly the way we walked it through before. This is the beginner posting, right? If you do this, what I highly recommend is that you come into your group. So I'm going to walk you through. Let's say you need to do this from your computer or from a mobile device that you actually can see the full Facebook group, not the Facebook app, not the groups app, but the actual Facebook group in the actual Facebook layout, right? We would click on photos. You will click on albums. Actually, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so you guys can see better. You see up here, this is the URL. You want to click on the album itself. You can click on the picture or down here. It doesn't matter. And it's going to pull up this page here. Don't click on the first photo. Only keep it here. You should be able to scroll down and see all of your Amelias or maybe all of your whatevers. You are going to highlight this portion. You're going to copy it. And then you would come back. I always open it in a new tab. You would come back here to your actual group, and you would paste that URL in here. And this is what it will populate with. Notifications out the yin yang tonight. You'll see your cover photo that you loaded, and then you will see all of your pictures, and then that number there because I have quite a few Amelias. And then I would hit post. What this does is it tells Facebook, oh, this is a brand new post from an actual person, herself or himself, not a third-party service, which is what Shop The Roe is. By doing this, it will show up in your actual customer's timeline on their regular Facebook when they're scrolling on their phone, and it will show up in the group. Now you can see here, I don't have, even though I created that Amelia album, there's nothing here, right? There's nothing at all. The only way to actually show this album that you created this new album would be to, again, I'll show you from the beginning, open up your albums, click on the album, you can click on the name or the picture, it doesn't matter. You're going to copy and paste this URL here at the top. You're going to copy it, and then you are going to come back here to a brand new post, and you are going to paste it there, and then you're going to let it load. So that's the newbie way of doing it. Now, there is a little bit more of an advanced way. If you would like your album, this is how we sneakily get around Facebook's rule, and how I help draw a little bit more attention to my group ahead of time. Usually a couple hours or the night before, I'm going to be loading my albums. I go ahead and I create a brand new album. I come to my albums here, right? Click on photos, I click on albums, and then I click on create album. And I load all of these pictures. Actually, we should have done this. Well, let's pretend these are Carly pictures, right? We're going to pretend this is a Carly picture. I make sure that my cover picture, let's see, let's delete that. Let's just do this. Let's go cover photos and let's find a Carly, and here we go. This will make more sense when we go to look at it. It'll be prettier. So here's my Carly. I create the album. I say post, right? I have a couple example pictures. I get this all together, and then I created the album. Now let's say I did that for every single one. It shows up in my group. It will also show up in my customer's timeline. You know, when they're actually over here on Facebook and they're scrolling and they're looking for things. See, that's right there. It shows up there. And they're like, oh, their little ears perk up and they go, oh, Andrew is loading albums. And down here, you can also see where I shared my album. But if I go any further, there's nothing. There's no reference that I created an album except by doing it manually in Facebook. So now let's say I did that. Let's say I created all 30-some albums, which I do every single week. I create all these albums. I add in an album description. Now it's Sunday night. Now it's time for me to load my albums. Now what? I'd come in here to Smart Post again, right? I'd come in here to Smart Post, and I've already loaded my albums. So what's going to happen via Shop The Roe when I do this? I make sure that I have selected the right group. You can see down here, it already has registered that there is a Carly album. And it says Carly Match Confidence 99%. So what I do is I would have created a Cassie album, a Classic T. Then I would have come to Shop The Roe. I would have clicked on Smart Post, selected the group, and then gone here, and Shop The Roe would automatically match every single album that is already created in my group here, and it will match it here. I hope you follow that and that makes sense. Go back and rewind it and rewatch it again if you need to. But remember, this would be a little bit more advanced step. Don't do this until you're comfortable with creating things all the way through Shop The Roe. So those are two different methods that you can use to upload your inventory. You would do things exactly the same. It would have auto-matched Cassie, Classic T, Gigi, Gracie. It would have gone all the way down. I would have copied and pasted my message just the same, and then I would have hit post now. And it will automatically load. If we go ahead and let's go ahead and process it through for Carly. Here's my description that I'm going to put in, and then I'm going to say post now, and it's going to load into this Carly album here. Now remember how I talked about that description. If I were to click on Amelia here that we have open and I click on this Amelia, for example, over here on the right it says click here to buy this Amelia with the size, the price, and then there's the Shop The Roe link. Customers could click on the link or you could click on the link and there it is all tied into your Shop The Roe. That's why this description is so important. So now if I'm here in my album and I'm waiting for my Carlies to load, let's see if any are up yet. I click on this album and then the Carlies are going to start to automatically load underneath. When you do Smart Post like that, Shop The Roe really does make sure that you have all the information. So it's not going to let you double post right away. So don't be afraid that you're going to end up double posting things. If you go slowly and you follow it through, it's going to be really easy. So remember, you can load by style and you can create a album here in Shop The Roe, or if you wanted to skip the part about copy and pasting this URL into the group, you could go ahead and manually create that those albums. And you can see here, it not only appears in my newsfeed, but the moment I add new pictures, it ties right back into this original post. Whether I created that album 6 hours ago or 6 minutes ago, it doesn't matter. Shop The Roe will automatically load, and it will tie back into this original post. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's how you load up to Shop The Roe. Those are your couple different options. Check out other videos for shipping and LuLaRoe room layouts. And we're going to do a little bit more in-depth Shop The Roe training to come. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask. Let me know. And remember, this is all up to you. So play around with it. Get familiar. Definitely, if you're saving time, creating your albums here in Shop The Roe and then just sharing this URL, copying and pasting this to a new post is going to be way faster than creating an album. But when you do it this way, you don't really get that opportunity to put in example photos if you would like to do that. Once again, it's A from LuLaRoe Life with A. You're welcome to join my VIP group and hop on in. You can go to www.lifewitha.com or click on the description in the video and join our journey. I'm excited to have you. Hope this was helpful. Thanks.